I don't know if you listened to Shetima speaking at the United Nations General Assembly. I repeat, if you listened, did you listen to Shetima speaking at the United Nations General Assembly? You know that Nigeria had, for the first time in the whole history, challenged the powers that be, the status quo. I repeat, in the history of Nigeria, under Tinubu's administration, Nigeria, for the first time, challenged the status quo, the powers that be. You look at Tinubu and underestimate Tinubu. Tinubu sent Shetima that message. I believe that speech was written under the supervision of President Bola Tinubu that he gave at the United Nations. That speech, many people applauded that speech. For the first time, Nigeria is speaking as a country that wants to be free from any colonial whatever. Yes, because we are still in bondage as we speak. We are still in bondage. Africa is still in bondage. That speech says a lot. Now, when you come back to Nigeria, you see that Tinubu is going to the grassroots and dealing with the root cause of the people that are the reasons why we will never restructure. I don't support Tinubu. For good governance, me, I don't support Tinubu. But that is structuring. That is structuring. You see how he's dealing with Fulani politicians. You know, Northern Nigeria is being dominated, captured by the Fulani. And look at what is happening to Northern Nigeria today. Top politicians in Northern Nigeria are becoming irrelevant. Because number one, if Nigeria is restructured today, if Nigeria gets its real independence, the Fulani will be on the receiving end. The Fulani will suffer. Yes. That is why what Tinubu is doing to Northern Nigeria, led by the Fulani, I am in support. 101% support of what Tinubu is doing to the Fulani in Northern Nigeria. If he does not do that, he will not see road to restructure this country and do what he has to do. If you look at it critically, we have an El-Rufai, we have an Atiku. These are people that want Tinubu out by all means because they are not having their way. Their influence in the government has diminished. Look at Kwankwaso, a report that Kwankwaso say, I want to join APC, but what is in for me? What do I stand to gain if I join APC? So they are trying to pitch their tents. They are confused. The world never expected Nigeria to give such a speech. They are shocked. It is because there's somebody who is a president that understands geopolitics at the moment. At the moment, I've been saying this over and over again. The problems we are facing is not Igbo and Yoruba. We are facing bigger problems. Inward, we are facing the Fulani. Outward, we are facing the colonial masters, the globalists. Now, if we start making progress as a country, some people go to verse. Real progress, though, is not the one that is being manufactured, though, by politicians to make them look good, though. Real progress. The other day, Hilda Bassi broke the Guinness Book of Record as the Nigerian that served thousands of people jollof rice. If say Hilda Bassi, like saying they produce nuclear weapon now, you go see say US and other countries, they go be angry. As if we are becoming independent, producing our own cars, sourcing all the materials, most of the materials around our own domain. If we try to become, stop becoming an independent, import dependent, most of the things we need, we import it. Like I said, there are some factories in Nigeria, some factories. If a particular equipment spoil, they go shut down that line of factory. They go wait, make Oyibo produce that equipment, that part of that machine. They go wait until Oyibo produce them, ship them, call Nigeria. That is how dependent we are on this globalist. So Shetima sent a message and said that Africa it is time for Africa to take the bull by the horn and determine its future. See, forget the Fulani no like this, you know. Come back home. So dealing with the root cause of the problem is to displace the Fulani politically. No offense, I don't hate the Fulani, but those people, those elements that have captured the Fulani, that has captured Northern Nigeria, they know what I'm talking about. Now, when you look at history, history has been introduced to our schools. History, let's get it right and correct. History has been introduced into our curriculum. Some people argue that it was removed by Obi Ezekwesili, former Minister of Education. That is wrong. Let me read this. However, the fact is that history, even though offered in senior secondary schools, has long been removed from primary and secondary schools curriculum since 1982. History as a stand-alone subject has been removed since 1982, with very few schools offering it. In 2017, the Nigeria Education Research and Development Council announced it was set to reintroduce history as a subject in primary and junior secondary school curriculum. Now, the claim that Obi Ezekwesili removed history from Nigeria's curriculum is false. History was long removed as a stand-alone subject in 1982 when Nigeria embraced the 6334 system. So, in 2007, that is when the government officially announced the removal of history from the basic educational curriculum. So, since 1982, it was removed. What happened was that history, they now fuse it in social studies. History was not a stand-alone subject. But officially, the government officially removed history 2007. Understand that. Now, the Fulani would be the greatest losers when it comes to history in Nigeria. The Fulani will be the greatest losers because we go know what happened in the past. We all understand what went on in the Civil War. We have our disagreement, but we are knowledgeable. At least we have some awareness of what transpired from our own perspective. But say, in Nigeria, the tribe that has fought to take over people's land, the history is exposing a lot of things about the Fulani. Introduction of history, people will be much more equipped with how the Fulani operate anywhere in Nigeria. And they have been consistent for the past 100 years. Let's look at the Yorubas. Now, the problem of the Yorubas, according to some people, it is the Igbo and the Fulani. Igbo are the problem. Igbo are expansionists. Politically, they want to take over Yoruba land. Economically, that is what people think. They want to take over Yoruba land. Now, the Fulani wants to take over the land, change the culture, whatever it is. But the biggest problem the Yoruba have is the Fulani, because the Fulani has fought with the Yorubas many times. Series of conflicts in the 19th century involving the Yoruba and the Fulani people, primarily driven by Fulani expansion from the Sokoto Caliphate. After they done conquer the Hausa finish, they come move towards the southwest. That is their plan. You come from Futajaran Island, you enter Hausa, you play all those your Magumago, your Magumago, you enter them, you start enter them. After, you can't say we don't enter them, you don't deceive them finish, you can't increase the number, you take over their kings, you now launch jihad. From jihad, you took over the Sokoto Caliphate. Then from Sokoto, you wanted to expand your kingdom into the land of the Yorubas. Not be today, till tomorrow. Now, by the Fulani expansion from the Sokoto Caliphate, particularly the conquest of Ilorin, key events included the Battle of Ilorin, the Battle of Oshogbo, and the Battle of Mugba War, which ultimately checked the Fulani southward advance, but also led to widespread Yoruba internal conflict. Now, we have the Fulani Jihad and Sokoto Caliphate expansion. Yes, Fulani Jihad from northern Nigeria spread into Yoruba land. We have the Fulani expansion associated with the Sokoto Caliphate led to military campaigns in Yoruba land. The Fulani expansion associated with the Sokoto Caliphate led to military campaigns into Yoruba land. Now, another incident is the collapse of the old Oyo Empire. Internal political crisis within the old Oyo Empire weakened its authority, making it vulnerable to external threats. Already, the Fulani, they are on standby. to check you. I don't know. They come from a certain land. They want to start taking over, expansion, making them slaves because they believe that they are a superior tribe. An average Fulani man believes that he is better than any other person in Nigeria. I repeat, an average Fulani man, they tell themselves, you're a warrior tribe. You are better than all these guys. And they still have that confidence till today. Both the one waiting for town and both the one waiting for bush. A particular governor said that the Fulani is a universal citizen. I don't know whether it's El Rufai or that Bauchi state governor. Fulani is a universal citizen. El Rufai said that if you kill one Fulani, you are going to pay with 10,000, 1 million times. So they believe that they are much more better than every other person. They are supposed to be ruling every other person in Nigeria. They look down on us. That's why, as a Southern president that Tinubu is, I want him to deal with them. Let them go extinct politically. No influence. Let me tell you, by 2027, no Fulani will be able to stand and convince anybody on any issue, on any matter. I'm telling you the fact and truth. Fulani politicians are getting reduced politically. And they will pick some people that are not really Fulani, or even Tinubu is creating a dynasty that when 2031 election reach, he go pick people where no they loyal to the Fulani cause. I repeat, he go pick people where no they loyal to the Usman Danfodio cause. And now those people come become president. Then after them, he go snatch the power from their hands and further make sure that Southern Nigeria's stronghold is strong. Yes. And that will push for stronger restructuring. In fact, the restructuring will come from within out. I'm telling you what I see happening. It is my opinion. I can be right or wrong. I stand to be corrected. Now, the collapse of the old Oyo Empire led to the Fulani having a place to attack the Yoruba people. Yoruba internal divisions, independent Yoruba kingdoms and their internal conflicts prevented a united front against the Fulani. And lastly, we have the Afonja's rebellion. Kakanfo, Afonja's rebellion against the old Oyo Empire in the early 19th century, seeking Muslim support, inadvertently opened the door for Fulani incursions into Ilorin. Till today, people are struggling. The Yorubas are struggling to reclaim the Ilorin from the Fulani. Today we'll be saying that democracy, freedom of whatever. People eyes supposed open. Say, this is clear Fulani agenda. Fulani is coming into your land. Before you know, they don't become your guy. They impose themselves on you. You saw that Oshogbo woman, or that Oshun woman, or that traditional woman, that his fellow people were challenging her. Why is she doing tradition in Kwara State? Imagine. These are people that have been brainwashed and influenced by the Fulani. Fulani self, don't they recruit Yoruba people to fight Yoruba people again? My brother, it shocked me. Oh. Now that you are supposed to be wise. The Fulani, they are not the custodian of Islam. You see the way some pastors will hypnotize their members. There's a particular pastor that said, Jesus is coming, I think, on the 22nd or 23rd of September. The pastor said the rapture is taking place. And the people actually believed him. His people came out. And they came out at an open space where there were trees. They were looking up. Some people carried their phone. Some people carried their belongings. People who want to go heaven, rapture. A man of God, a pastor told them that rapture is coming. And hundreds, if not thousands, or they're up to like 500 that I saw in that video. Believe the man of God. It tells you how religion, they can use religion as witchcraft. I don't know, maybe the Fulani, they are using religion as witchcraft to hypnotize these people in Ilorin. These Yorubas, they look so lost. You don't know that you are first a Yoruba, culturally and traditionally. Before you are, whether you are Islam, Muslim or Christian, you must acknowledge your Yoruba roots. For culture, there can be upgrade. But first, identify yourself as a cultural person. There must be upgrade. There are some things you may not do culturally. But that does not push it. Somebody's identity is bringing in on you to erase your own. God speaks to us in our languages. Who introduced language in the Bible? The Tower of Babel. They wanted to build a city that would get to God. And God saw their resolve, that these people, the determination and their resolve, man, if I don't stop them, they would build this thing and come to where I am. So he had to split them into languages. God gave them languages. And these languages form their identity. So what is the problem? So the Battle of Ilorin, 1835. See, 1835. Look at 1835 and now. How many years? I'm asking this question. 1835 and now. How many years? Mugba War, 19th century. A Yoruba attempt to expel the Fulani from Ilorin but failed due to the Fulani cavalry expertise and the Yoruba's poor coordination. Till today, they still have that expertise in organizing themselves to take over civilization. They are trying to oppress the Yoruba civilization in Nigeria, and we are here looking at them, open our eyes. They do what they are doing. It seems there's nothing that can happen. To stop banditry, we cannot stop banditry because army, then they for army. Maybe just recently, they sentenced some soldiers to life imprisonment because they were supplying weapons to whether Boko Haram or in the southeast, they were supplying weapons to criminals and also Boko Haram. These are soldiers supplying weapons to agitators, to people, to non-state actors. These are soldiers. It tells you a lot. If the Fulani is taken away from our system, this is where they go shout for World Bank, for World United Nations General Assembly. We need to deal with the enemy, the rat inside. The rat inside is the Fulani. I know why I'm saying this. Is the Fulani. So because of Fulani's cavalry expertise and Yoruba's poor coordination, they could not expel Fulani in the 19th century. But note, politically, economically, and also through some scientific means, the Fulani would gradually vaporize. Their influence will vaporize out of the Nigerian system. I'm telling you. The highest thing they can do is to say they want to do military, whatever. And when they want to say military coup, we self go understand, say, oh God, this your military coup, he has a hidden agenda because you are trying to protect Fulani, because Fulani, Northern Nigeria, has influence in the military. We see and we reject it. And it will lead to another revolution that will make sure everybody will come together and say, everybody go back to your father's house. You see, I like what is going on. I like what is playing. I have told you that in the next few years, not even long from now, something will happen. And everybody will come and sit down and say, let's talk about how we can go back to our father's house. We have where we are coming from. Let's restructure this country. We cannot stay anymore together. It will happen. And we are waiting for that time. Yes, politically, it can happen. With revolution, it can happen. But first, this statement at the World Bank, I hope Nigeria is prepared for whatever backlash they're going to get. I hope Nigeria is prepared. Because the US and the globalists and the colonial masters will not sit down and look at you. While you are becoming free, you free yourself from the stranglehold. You liberate yourself from their hand. No, they cannot look at you and you. There must be decisiveness. A commitment for Nigeria to be able to pitch itself ahead of, like, lead Africa out of this colonial slavery. Most countries in Africa, their presidents are over 80 years old. And these guys are puppets in the hands of these colonialists. You think that these people have left Nigeria. They have not left Nigeria. They are very much present. Very much more present in Nigeria. In Africa, not even Nigeria, Africa. The Sahel countries now don't withdraw from the ICC. Sahel, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, I think, Chad. These people have seen the future. When you look at their president, they are young people. They are not puppets of the West. So Tinubu is a shrewd politician. He dey play this mago game. He understands what he's doing. He's looking at everybody. He's a snake. Shebi, now so he used deceive Northern Nigeria. He played them. Go. Anybody win. 10 minutes. Those that play football betting. He play any which way he go enter. Telling you, me, I want freedom. Africa's freedom more than any other thing. Because we cannot be second-class citizens in this world. We cannot be here. We have so much talent, so much aspirations. And there's nothing we can bring home. There's nothing. There's nothing. See, at this point in time, we need to come together. I understand that the only solution for us to get what we need to get, to achieve what we need to achieve, is to make sure that the Fulani is Southern Nigeria, unite together. Southern Nigeria, unite. You need to unite together. This is a must. You must unite together and make sure that the influence of the Fulani in our politics, those people that will stop us from like restructuring, because now 2027 now, 2 years where Tinubu don't spend, Fulani is done. They say, no, we cannot. He's a one-term president. No, we cannot stay here and watch things. Oh no, what Tinubu is doing, we're not in support. Okay, Atiku, a Fulani-led coalition. If you enter here, what are you going to do differently from Tinubu? You're going to look at everybody. I just want Tinubu to go. Atiku is a unifier. I will unite Nigeria. Maybe he was preaching to the Yoruba people that he will unite Nigeria. No, we must restructure Nigeria. That's what we want. We must restructure Nigeria, and Nigeria we must restructure. May God help this country.